Hi, this was unplanned and I'm hungry and you're probably going to hear my stomach growling, but this wants to come through, so it's coming through and we're doing it. We're using a Thoth deck. And then possibly this one, the Golden Tarot, which I just got as a Mother's Day gift from a person who I'm not a mother to. It's just the sweetest thing, and it is a super awesome deck. I haven't fully gone through all of it yet. Okay. The Eight of Swords. Interference. Anxiety. Your thinking is out of balance with your knowing and your being. And it's to a degree where you need to take action, and you need to switch something that you're doing. Whatever it is that is causing you the most stress right now, you need to stop your attention from trying to figure it out and put it on you. Where should we put it? The Hermit and the Knight of Wands. I want to pull more, but what I'm hearing is that you have a deep knowing of what direction to go in, and to allow yourself to take action from the inspiration and the urges and the intuitive hits that you're getting. The Three of Cups, abundance. If you've been keeping to yourself, it's time to put yourself out there and engage in activities that fill your cup up and that are not solo and isolation. It could be like around where I live in the summer on Fridays, they have this thing called Jazz in the Park, and it's full of people. It's free. I go to that solo a lot, but I'm around other people. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be that you have to go with other people as a unit, but it's being part of a whole of something that raises your vibration and raises your frequency. The Hermit again and the Knight of Cups. There's still some healing that has to be done with you for where you are, and it is centered around how you show up or receive love, how you view it too. Love as a state of being. Let that marinate around and see what you come up with. All right, let's see what else we have. So I feel like the Queen of Wands. Okay, what about the Queen of Wands? The King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So it's Scorpio, Pisces, Aries. Okay, what about it specifically? There's a lot of emotional, it's standing in your power, it's being in a receiving power, but also in a sharing power, because the Queen of Wands is fully confident and a creatrix, and in her power, she's just omitting magnetism. It's directly connected to love, though, to not the emotion of love, but the state of being of love. And your receptivity to giving and receiving. That's what I just keep hearing. All right, what can you tell us about the Queen of Wands? Like what? The Hierophant. There's a soul contract. There's a covenant, a vow, a universal law. What about it? The Hangman. The way you're viewing something needs to expand. I'm hearing look under the Hangman. The Hermit again. So the first card that came out was the Eight of Swords, right? And the Hermit is 8 too, isn't it? No, the Hermit is 9. But they're both about focusing. One is focusing on the knowing and the being, the Hermit, and one is focusing on overthinking, on thinking to the point where it's overthinking and has got you out of balance. That's the Eight of Swords. So the guidance is to look internally, to take in the information that you've learned about who you are. Not whatever this thing is you're trying to figure out, but how you stand in your fullest power. I keep hearing this, and I've heard it all the way throughout, so I'm going to share it. The reason why this reading started was because I was listening to a reading from Awakening to Spirit, Cindy, her Libra reading. And I didn't finish it, and like halfway, probably 2/3 of the way through it, but she talked about like ambition and like knowing, being unsure about which thing to focus on. And she shared something that she did before she started her tarot channel, and now that's what she makes her income off of. She wrote down, so what I'm going to say is this is what I did, because I've been in a place where I've been trying to figure out which area to focus on. So I put it I crossed that out because I don't want to be an influencer, but this is really what I mean. I had 4 categories: author, speaker, and I assigned swords to that. Tarot, pentacles, I assigned to it. Music, I assigned wands to it. And art, I assigned cups to it. Any major arcana, I would use whatever element it was associated with: fire, earth, water, or air. What I did was set the space, ask the universe for guidance and where I should focus my attention for my abundance. And then I used 15 cards. I just pulled 15 cards, and then I looked at them, and then I counted them. And tarot came out with 6 and music came out with 5. And then this reading came from that. So I'm sharing that with you because I think it might be helpful for some of you to do the same thing, to consult. I've never thought about doing that, using the cards in that way. So this is just, again, it's like the hangman, a different perspective and how to look at something. And it's not the external necessarily, it's the internal. And when I saw that the music was one step below tarot, it really was confirming for me, because I had heard something at some point about like God, and used that liberally, doesn't give you a dream in your heart that you're not meant to follow. And my dream had always been music. Literally, it never wasn't that. It was always that, from always. I never believed in myself. Vocals. And there's reasons for that. I was literally shut down in those regards all the way through. So that was like, but tarot is number 1 for me. So this is a reading about you standing firmly in your authentic, creative, magnetic, impassioned, inspired self. It is the blocks to keep building to support that foundationally. And we're going to use the Golden Tarot, and I'm not sure why it's coming out. But we're going to see what the message is. There's a message, another message. There we go. Do you want to guess what it is? It's the Queen of Wands. So it's just telling you in another way, look at these images and whatever they bring up in you. And it doesn't matter what gender you are. This is talking about this state of you. And if you're Aries, this is like screaming at you. We have the Strength card on the split and the Knight of Wands on the bottom. It's about taking action, allowing yourself to follow through with those inspired urges, those, oh, I should, yeah, you probably should. Write it down. Write it down, because you can't always, like maybe you're driving when that comes through. Figure out a way for you to record it and then build into your day a ritual where at the end of the day, or like during dinner or something, you look at your list of things that came up, or you listen to your voice memos. Do you know what I mean? Make it a part of who you are. We're not nurtured to be this way. We're not nurtured like this. Nobody learned us, taught us how to pay attention to ourselves. We got taught how to not pay attention to ourselves, because when you're an infant, you can't, there's no verbal communication. Cries can be wildly misunderstood, or needs. Do you know what I mean? And think about all the ways that your life may have been shaped from infancy that went against who you are and how you think. All right, we're going to do the Medicine Woman, even though this is like, it just keeps saying the same thing, but I feel like, I don't know, I can't ignore the hits that I'm getting right now. There's the most wonderful breeze. Do you like my Phoebe Bridgers hoodie? I got it from the Taylor Swift Eras tour. Phoebe opened, and it was fucking ridiculous. It was so amazing. This was like a whole journey to get. It's my favorite hoodie right now. It used to be my Boy Genius hoodie, but I got the size I ordered was way too big, and I washed it, but it didn't shrink. And then I ordered a new one, and I gave my old one to my best friend, and my new one came, and it must be from a second batch, because like this part is falling off. It's not the same material. It completely shrunk. It was a tiny bit too big, and I washed it just because, not to shrink it, because I'd like to wear them to bed, and I need that like greasy chemical thing to be off it, that film that comes in new clothes, you know? And it fucking shrunk like too small, and it makes me so sad every time I see it. And the colors of it are all off before I even washed it. It's very disappointing. It makes me sad. But this makes me feel happy again when I look at it. So however, I'm sharing that because it must relate to you guys in some way. I would love to know in the comments, but no worries. I'm also I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so I can do lives. I am doing private readings right now. You can email me at my name, which is, I'm about to tell you, Denise Perry. It's all one word, lowercase, at Gmail. DENISEPERRI at gmail.com. They're $150. They're a minimum of 60 minutes. And if you, after the first reading, book another, every reading after your first reading will go down to $100. If you book your second reading at the time of your first reading, they'll be $90. So just an incentive. I would like to not charge you guys anything, and the way to do that is through this channel: subscribing, sharing, helping the algorithm, leaving comments. You know what I mean? My goal is 500,000 followers, but like 150, it's really a million, but like where I would like to hit 150 would make me, 150,000 would make me be able to do this and focus on this. 1,000 will make me able to do live readings, which is what I really want to do for you guys, where I'm going to do a live reading for you guys. You know what I mean? And do these kind of readings live, and then do somewhere I'm taking from doing cards for you guys. You feel me? And it won't let me do that unless I have at least 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to help me out with that in whatever way you can, thank you, thank you, thank you. But I'm going to be offering personal readings right now until that goes up. I could do extendeds, but I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? And just one more FYI on the readings. It takes, the readings total hours time is like 2.5 to 3 hours for me, which is why the price is what it is, because it's a lot of energy. You know what I mean? Because it's setup and it's breakdown. The personal readings I'm talking about. Okay, let's pull your medicine woman card. Healing, number 8. Remember, this guy is number 8. And I keep hearing the Hermit even though it's number 9. I support you on the path of healing. This is talking about you are on the precipice of a death and a rebirth. You're in it. You've been reborn, and this is helping with that foundation and helping it bloom all the way. So it's talking about rituals, whatever that means to you, self-preservation rituals, and paying homage, sacred reverence to the source rituals. What that means is you put yourself in a flow with the universe where you're giving to, you're letting your energy, the universe, you're fueling the energy of the universe with your energy by allowing the universe to plug into yours, and then you at the same time are receiving energy from the universe and pulling it in to preserve your energetic reserve, and then building in abundance and then sharing it. Do you understand? The time for healing has come. In the cycle of transformation, you are about to cross the threshold. What must you let die? That's what this is. that stress, that whatever is taking up that part of your brain, whatever you're focusing on like that the most, it's time you gotta separate from that. Put it on a boat and let it float out. You can use an anchor, like, no, you don't need an anchor. Just let it float out. You don't need it. You don't need to be focused on that. From which tragedy must you free yourself? We come to this earth with a transgenerational heritage that we are here to transmute. It is time to heal the wound of your soul, to find its treasure, its pearl. Sorceress of modern times, you have in you both the poison and the antidote, your great power. You have in you both the poison and the antidote. The medicine woman of healing invites you to find your own medicine. Explore medicinal plants, crystals, dancing, singing, shamanic practices. Say yes to your gift. Remember, that Three of Cups is putting yourself, engaging in activities that lift your vibration. Connect to this archetype and prepare yourself for a new stage on the path of healing. Okay, open your ritual space. Trust in the process and enter into the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. You're in the rebirth. Take up your drum or your rattle or your singing bowl. Funny how I did that first, right? Find healing mantras. Icaro chants, I-C-A-R-O. I don't know what that is. Choose an object to represent your wound, which you will later give back to nature. Light a candle, symbolizing the light of your consciousness. There is a new moon on the 9th. I don't know what today is. 9th? 19th? 19th. New moon in Taurus, I think. Google it. It's like coming up in the next couple days. This is what this is talking about. Okay? Pull in a new moon ritual for yourself and you let the focus be what we're talking about right here, okay? Draw a healing circle around you. Call your allies, animals, totems, ancestors, or guides before whom you lay down your wound, such as a betrayal in love, lack of recognition, abandonment, abuse, whatever it is. Visualize your tragedy, honor it. Right, you want to call in your allies so that the space is protected. First, you want to clear the space, and you want to use frankincense or myrrh. You do not want to use sage to clear space. Sage calls in. So you want to clear the space first of anything not in love, not in the frequency of love, not in its highest vibrational form, in any form that it exists. And you want to have the space protected from any of those entering for the duration of your ritual. And then you want to call in all the beings in your guides of the highest vibrational good, only in highest love, to protect the space, to allow to show you guidance and to allow you to plug into, receive, and transmute, interpret, and retain, whatever the words are, the message coming through. You feel me? And you have to release them at the end and close the space off again. Okay. Visualize your tragedy. Honor it. Dance, sing, and let the tears flow. So some kind of movement that's based on the frequency that that wound vibrates in at its core. Something that's gonna plug into that wound frequency with a new, it's similar, but it's the, so you've been plugged into the dark, you're adding the light aspect of the frequency. You're gonna plug into it. So if it's dancing, you know, you find the vibration, the one that brings up the emotion, and the one that it brings up the emotion, but throughout it, you end up healed. You're lighter after it. Just as an example, you understand? Close the ritual with a sensory meditation with larch essential oil. to go get that. I don't know how many monies that is. I don't have any monies for that. I have so many health issues, and that's part of why I'm really trying to do why I'm doing personal readings also right now. It's because I can't afford my meds and my treatments. And I need them. Okay. Close the circle. Give thanks. Find a time to go out in nature to bury the symbol object you had chosen to represent your wound. You can also call upon a shaman or healer to help you in your rebirth. That's what I'm hearing right now too. And I watched a different reading yesterday or listened to that talked about this exact thing. I forget who the reader was. It might be White Feather Tarot or Moon Magic Tarot. I'm not sure which one. It might be one of those, but it was like a pick a card. But it talked about doing this with a circle for the new moon of people who share your same vibration and your same frequency, and there's no doubt everyone is focused toward their own specific goal, and it's all equal in its like vibration, in its highest vibration. So there's a really fertile ground right now, and you have the ability and capability and opportunity to plug into it and really come out higher than you ever have been and further along in your journey forward to your generational wealth, to your hierophant, your life calling, your soul's purpose. And I know these are all wordy words, but they're real. Like these are, listen to them, okay? Because we're not just humans, we're humans housing energy. The energy goes, the body dies. The energy doesn't, it just goes somewhere else. So why are we not taught to be nurturing that and to understand how to navigate that and how it works and all of that? I keep hearing God, sorry. There's a book called Light Emerging, and then that author, Barbara, I think, Heifer, I don't remember her name, but Light Emerging. She's got a series of books. See if any of them resonate with you and get them if you can. Okay, that's it. Bye. Thanks. Bye. Bye.